welcome to Monday night. Waiting for people to join for the recorded section. Hello. There they are. Oh, look at you guys. On the money. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hi, Carly. Oh, Jason Sandler. Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
That was so
I can hear y'all.
easy. Oh my gosh. That was like the smoothest transition into inviting someone ever. All right. Can you guys hear the heater that I have plugged in?
I can't now.
Good, because it's freaking freezing down here, and I didn't know that. Ooh, bear with me. Can you hear me? Is this better?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear everything.
Yay. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So, everyone just joining in. There's already a bunch of people in here. Hello, everyone. We are chatting with some of our authors from 12 Months of Horror tonight. We have Jason A. Jones, yay, and Sarah Wettberg from without the author copy thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have normal copies, but they're buried.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Just make sure I could hear everyone. So I just wanted to kind of sit for like a half hour and just chit chat with you guys. So why don't we, real quick, not to put you on the spot, but do you want to tell us a little bit about yourselves? Just who you are, where you're from. Jason, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm from Indiana, and I'm 47 years old. And yeah, Thorntown, Indiana is a real small town. And I have a dog and two cats, and I enjoy writing. And I'm an industrial painter. So.
Nice.
Cool. I'm always like, what? Really? He's an industrial painter and he writes all this scary shit. You're a Canadian neighbor.
Yes. Yes. I'm in Calgary. I'm 40 in a couple months, so this is all a hell of a way to kick off turning 40. I can say that.
Yeah, I'm 40 in the beginning of March. So.
Nice. So
Nice.
I'm just a little bit after. Awesome. I've got two cats, and yeah, I do all sorts of things to keep myself occupied. I like to draw and wood burn, photography. So yeah, that's me.
Crossword.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to one of our other authors today, and I'm like always amazed that people have like regular jobs, because I mean, and of course we all do, but it's funny because I'm like the way I know you guys is this one specific, like, you write horror and that's what you do in my brain.
Yeah.
Everyone has these, like, I was like, what? I can't. When do you write all the scary stuff? How has Pub Week been for you guys?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Have your friends and family read your nonsense?
Some
Not
of them.
yet.
Yes
Hopefully
and no.
soon. Hopefully soon.
Yeah. It's funny because with the smut release at the same time, I'm like, well, my family has read the horror part.
Yeah.
For once, that's like the lesser kind of like cringe-worthy one. I'm loud and proud about the horror writing. So I wanted to talk about like what inspired your stories. So I guess Jason, you want to start with you? Like it's funny because so the way the book's set up is we're always going to make it like kind of a yearly thing. Oh, good. Someone just read my book and they're reading horror next. Fabulous. Nice. Anthony. So the way the book is set up, so we like joke that everyone is going to read they're going to take the whole year to read that. No one's freaking doing that. But technically, you could.
Mhm.
So we're always going to pick one for each month of the year. And then if anyone's story, when they were submitted, if they kind of synced up with a particular holiday or time of the year, we were going to put it there. So Jason, your story had to be October, which is like prime real estate, right?
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Your story's called Summoning the Hag, and it's so like 80s creepy horror goodness. So tell us how you're inspired to write it.
Well, I originally had written that as a 100-word prompt, and I had submitted it to another anthology that just dealt with 100-word prompts, and didn't get accepted, obviously. And then I thought, well, since you guys were coming out with that, it'd be kind of cool to embellish on that and make it into a short story. And I'm not familiar with. It's kind of a Mean Girl type story, and of course I'm not familiar with Mean Girls, but I thought I'd try my hand at it, and that's basically where it came from. So yeah.
I think you have more experience than you think with your face Fridays. If anyone's watching and you have Jason, your face Friday, I will literally be scrolling and I will like stop what I'm doing with this. I'm not even gonna say anything else. I should have had like a picture I could put up. But like if you're not following Jason's account on Friday, you're missing out. So I think you have more experience with the Mean Girls than you think you do. It's like a little bit Carrie too. It's like Mean Girls meets Carrie in like kind of a oh man. It's like I'm trying not to give a spoiler alert,
Yeah.
but like I mean I'm sorry I have to. The human head. Oh my god! I was reading the submission. So Jason he's an alum of Dark Village. He was in Dark Village. So this is his second foray with us. And I mean, oh, I was reading. I'm like, well, this is our October story. Oh my gosh! But so I know that you love you love horror books. Like I follow a lot of horror reading accounts, and there are a few that post as many horror books and horror reviews as you do. Like I tried to be a bookstagrammer. I don't have enough books. Like those are yeah. So A.D. Jones, who's also in the anthology, just said those are the sounds you want a person to make about your story. Yep. Well, I did. Yep.
Yeah.
He is on Wednesday, and he's also going to get those lists. Hi guys. So Jason, why did you start an Instagram account? Like,
Well, I bought that book, Paperbacks from Hell by Grady Hendrix,
okay.
and has a lot of fascinating covers on it and all that. And I've been a reader for a long time anyway, but never really thought about doing an account with all my books and stuff like that. But I went to Goodwill one time, bought some books, and had some really cool covers. It was after I bought that Paperbacks from Hell book, and I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool to start an account. And then I found out that there was a whole lot of that on Instagram, like a lot of bookstagrammers that posted books and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought that'd be kind of cool to do. And I've had my account since 2019, and probably get amassed probably a little over 1,000 books so far. So yeah, I want to turn my walls into shelving, but my wife won't let me. So
Where are they now?
Do what?
Where are your books now? If you don't
I
have
have
shelves,
I have them scattered all over the house. I have different shelves all over the house. So yeah,
you want
I
like
have like 12. I have about 12 shelves. One of them is my wife's, but the rest are mine. So, so yeah.
That's good.
So
I hope she has like shoes or candles or something that she's
yeah.
also obsessed with.
Oh yeah, she's got a bunch of shoes. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
just had oh, before I mention that, so if you had it since 2019, I feel like anyone who's ever read a horror story like knows who you are. And I don't know if you know that. Like I feel like everyone knows Jason A. Jones. like,
Yeah.
you're like an Instagram celebrity, I think.
Uh, maybe. I don't know.
You have like
um,
I think you have a bigger network than you realize. Also,
right. Right.
Grady Hendrix bought a copy of Dark Village. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome, actually.
So I had emailed him just like to see if he wanted to write a forward for us.
Yeah.
And like, he didn't. He was working on a what are those Ankle Snatcher? It was when he was writing Ankle Snatcher, which came
Yeah.
out last year, and he didn't. And that's probably not the reason why he didn't, but that's what he told me, so that's what I'm gonna pretend is the reason. But then he emailed back and he said that he had bought a copy of Dark Village. So
Nice.
share that
Nice.
with you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you just released your first solo novella on Amazon,
I,
The Pumpkin
I did.
Pie Man.
Yeah. Yeah. More of a short story, but did that, and hopefully sometime this year I'll be releasing my novella. So it'll be about 70 pages. Sometime this year, hopefully. I say this year because I don't have a specific timeline. So
Yeah.
the manuscript with an editor right now, so just waiting on that. So yeah, it's exciting.
Nice.
That's cool. Any sneak peeks you can give us?
Do what?
Any sneak peeks on that? What that's about?
Yeah,
Else?
it's about a house, and there's a woman that lives there. There's a creature that lives in the woods, and yeah, so it takes place with in the autumn time, and kind of a haunted house type secrets in the house type thing. So yeah,
Okay.
it's called Starving Alice.
Ooh, good
Mm,
title.
yeah.
Neat. Awesome.
Nice.
So Sarah, we'll switch over now. You snagged January.
I did.
And you did. And I was like, I wonder what it feels like to be the first like story in the book. Your story is called I'm Gonna Murder. Why don't you say the title? Because I'll annihilate the pronunciation.
Sure. I agree, Somnia.
Oh yeah, it definitely is not how my brain wanted to say that. So how did it feel about being the first, if it felt like anything, if it wasn't a big deal at all, how was it being January, everyone's introduction to the book, and then how was that inspired? Because I have my own thoughts about it. It got my brain going, but you tell me.
It, I was very surprised and intimidated because the first story sort of like sets the tone in a way, or kind of you need to like get people to keep wanting to read. So I was like, oh my God, that's like, it's my very first short story. So I was just like, kind of freaking out a bit, but really excited too.
It's good. It's
um,
like a psychological
yes.
kind of grab you right off the. I feel like that's a good place to start. We'll mess with everyone's heads to start.
Yeah. It starts off pretty rough. So, but it's based on real life experiences that I had. So two kind of awful experiences, and I fictionalized them a little bit and just took off running with it. So that's where the inspiration for the story comes from, is things that I actually went through.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of us do that. Like Carly and I definitely talk about that a lot, kind of like using fiction to kind of work through scary or sad or hard or great stuff that has happened. And I think that really comes through. And just personally, I've had that nightmare where you can't get words out and you're trying. And I had it like, it was literally like 2 weeks ago. It's probably your fault.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just teasing. But like that is such a terrifying just to like need to get that out and just have no way to like verbalize.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a great way to start the book. And you also write a lot on Substack.
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about that?
Sure.
Because I don't know what Substack is still.
So my understanding, I'm still pretty new to it, but it's like a newsletter basically, is to send an email newsletter out, but it's also its own kind of standalone social media site where you can put your writing up. So hosts like blogs and short stories and newsletters and things like that. It's really interesting because it's got such a wide range of writing and it's all excellent. Like Stephen Fry is on there right now writing huge long pieces and it's just like, it's amazing. I started on there just to kind of share some of my experiences that I've already been through and kind of how I'm still trying to work through some of that now.
Yeah.
And to maybe give myself a little bit more motivation to try writing more fiction, because there is a lot of that on there too. So I found having this story come out as quickly as it did, not just out of my brain, but to have it published as quickly as it was from like brain to page is been really interesting and awesome. So to use Substack to kind of build on that and connect with people in various ways is sort of the way I've decided to tackle it.
Yeah. I think I feel like I'm just old and dumb, but like I did not hear about Substack until Carly was like, "We're doing this," and I was like, "Okay," and then like it just makes it so much easier. Like if you don't want to build a whole website, this isn't a Substack ad. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just like you have been utilizing it so well because I'm always like, oh, Sarah's updated because you get the emails that come in, and I just think that like more people in the writers community should be using Substack. Just to get these short stories out, because like Instagram and whatnot, it's like it's so focused on the pictures and not necessarily the writing. And these anthologies are so fun, but they take so much to like get them together and get them out. Even like Horoscope, like all of the anthologies that kind of come together on social media, they take so long. And I just think Substack is such a cool, quick way to kind of test out shorts, and because half the time I feel like a lot of the short stories that hit our anthologies kind of blossom into longer pieces for everyone. Like they were testing an idea out, and maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. Yeah. No, that's cool. I love it. So what? Yeah, totally. Because Carly and I, we have the Substack, and ours is kind of currently like a mix between like writing tips and things that I've seen just editing everyone's stories so much, like common mistakes I see all the time or just like trends. But then we started getting into like Mutt's story. And I'm like, oh yeah, we could just put this on the Substack. So I really feel like as writers, this is going to be an opportunity for all of us. Oops, someone had a question. Someone says simple and a little simplicity. Yeah, totally. And emphasis is on the writing. So if you don't have like a nice, well curated photo to go with things, that's okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Nice. So what is coming up next? So Jason, we kind of got your next novella. It's in your editor's hands. So what else you got going on? Are you putting in for other anthologies? Are you already writing something new, or are you kind of waiting
Yeah,
on that?
I'm pretty much waiting on some submissions that I put into, waiting to hear back from them. I think there's about 4 or 5 that I'm waiting to hear back
Oh,
on. So that, and then kind of having some ideas about something else to write, and whether or not to do another novella or novel, or perhaps put my own anthology together with my own stories, and just kind of mulling around those ideas. So yeah.
yeah. So you have 5 other stories already out into the world. You're so
It's
you're so
amazing.
prolific. You're a horror superhero.
I know.
I
I'm
know.
trying
Yeah.
anyway.
What about you, Sarah? What are you working on? Are you sticking on the Substack, or are you working on like a longer piece, or what's going on
I've got a
next?
couple longer pieces that I'm working at. They're sort of just kind of seeing what happens. I don't have any solid plans for that, but more focused on Substack for sure. Right now, I think I'm kind of getting into a good groove with that where I'm learning a lot and connecting with a lot of people. So that's really nice. So that's kind of mostly where my focus is, but I do have a couple of other pieces that I'm working on that I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what will happen with those.
I'm excited to see what the story will tell me it wants to be. when when the characters start to make their own decisions and they do
Yep.
things I didn't mean for them to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will you stick with horror, or will you
Um,
try?
I'm kind of venturing into a little bit of like spicy territory now because that's
Oh,
way out of my
really?
comfort zone. So like, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. So sort
Well,
of maybe a little bit of a
I
mix.
know some publishers who are kind of into the spicy stuff. Jason,
Oh yeah.
your time to be spicy.
I've had a couple of poems published for that cult erotica
Yeah,
magazine that's come out.
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, but we'll see. We'll see if I can do it or not. So I
Would
may
you
try it.
ever? Would you leave horror? Like, would you branch out? And I feel like it would snap you back.
Uh, I don't know. My thing is horror. So I that's I don't know. I really love writing horror.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah. I mean, and if I write something spicy, it'll probably end up like horror too, like be like
Anyway,
mixed or whatever. So that's so writing something
that's okay.
writing something just spicy, I don't know. Like I said, it'll end up bloody and terrible and nasty probably. So.
I mean, we have dark romance in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
So
It's like I feel like horror writing. I'm not new to writing, but I am new to writing horror, and I did sometimes feel at a disadvantage because I don't have 1,000 horror books laying around. Because I feel like horror, you can really easily fall into things that have been done to death, like
mhm.
literally. And
Yeah.
when you're very, very well read in horror, like you can list, like you just have that like mental catalog. Oh, well, this has been done, boom, 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 this many times. That's why I think Grady Hendrix is so cool, because it's like horror with heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Who
Especially
else?
with
Like who?
oh, go ahead.
No, go for it. No, go for it.
I was just saying, I read How to Sell a Haunted House, and that was like
Yeah.
what you talked about with horror with heart
Yep.
or whatever. Really good, really good.
Really good. And I think that was because I read horror before, and it like until Grady Hendrix, and like a little bit Shirley Jackson, but like where you kind of get other parts to it that make it like stronger. So as like a new horror reader, who should people be going for? Like what are your like what are
Well,
your go-tos? Like your will purchase author except for like Stephen
My,
King, because
yeah, it's like my go-to is Bentley Little. Uh,
okay.
he's a pretty underrated author. I've read like 9 novels of his, and he's like a working man's type horror writer. Like he takes something as simple as like um, going to the BMV and making it scary, you know, or like he's got one book called The Mailman. It's like about a mailman that's freaking scary, and yeah, just he's a good one to read. I like him, so
Okay.
he's my go-to.
Use your bro, your horror bro. What about you, Sarah? Is there like someone that you gravitate
Mine,
toward?
Stephen King, and it's mostly because of the way he writes. I can interpret to the experience of PTSD. So when I'm reading a lot of his work, it's resonating on a very different level, like almost on a soulful level. So I find a lot of his work is almost healing in a way. It connects to parts that's hard to be understood unless somebody's gone through it too.
Yeah.
So he's kind of my go-to just for that reason.
What what's like your favorite? What's the? I know it's hard. I was gonna say I was like, sorry. It.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Carly, I don't want to speak for Carly, but like she's always explaining to me, and I'm like, God, that's so true. And then that started being how I see it. Where like when you have traumatic experiences, like horror is so soothing because
Yep.
it's like this is scary, but look, I can put it down, and then
Yep.
like I can be scared with this, and that's okay, and then I can put it down. But there's an account I started following recently. It's called like Books in the Freezer or something. I'm butchering it. If they're in here, I apologize. But from that Friends episode where like Joey's reading something scary and he puts the Shining in the freezer.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
She's like, you want to put it in the freezer? He's like, yeah. Like that. Now I look at that episode and I'm like, oh, like because you can like physically put like compartmentalize that. So I think it's funny to like write that, and then oh my gosh, like what a learning curve. It's like there's like body horror and the psychological part, and I feel like we hit so many different types in here.
Yes.
It's like Catholic horror, which is a thing, and I would like what? Like some of them when I was reading the submissions, I was like we were just blown away, and like I'm so excited about this baby right here.
It's so good.
It's good.
So good, and it's like it's nice and quick. It's not overwhelming. I feel like it's a nice size, and everyone's stories just really, I want to say complement each other, but like the stories have nothing to do with each other at all. Yeah. And you read through, and it's like by the time you get to September, you're like, oh man, that February story, like whichever one. I just feel like there's such a variety in here. I'm super excited about it. Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to hop on and chat with you guys super quick. Is there anything else you want to share? Why don't you share how everyone can find you apart from your Instagram handles, which will be tagged on this video, which I will post to my profile. So, Jason, where can we find you?
Well, Instagram, obviously, and I have a Facebook page, Jason A. Jones. So that's pretty much all I use is Instagram and Facebook. So, yeah, that's it.
There.
And I'm on Instagram and Substack under the S Files.
The S Files. When I post this video to my thing, you just go ahead, put that in there. You're in a comment. Is there a cat behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It hurt us. Oh man. Well, I just wanted a short and sweet, just to say hey and hear how your stories came together. So I just wanted to thank you guys for being a part of 12 months, and I love this so much, and I love your stories. So congratulations on those. And
well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.